trying to collect my thoughts, catch my breath and my breathing. Oh, I just felt off for the past few days. And I feel like it's stress and anxiety mixed. The reason I feel like this is, a few hours ago when I picked my dad up from the hospital. Now, prior to us leaving, I could see him being weak, because he hasn't been eating much and he's not able to hold food down for too long. Okay, fine, I'm understanding of that. Now I'm watching him eat his dinner, which was stew beef and white rice and steamed carrots. And he looked like he could barely hold the fork up. So I grabbed all his belongings and I brought him downstairs to the truck. And then I called his nurse and I told her, hey, I'm going to wait for him in the truck because I did not feel like coming back upstairs. I did not feel like coming back upstairs. I just didn't have it in me. And this is a pain patch around my neck. Because when I was taking a nap earlier, I woke up and my neck was bothering me. It's not so much now. I just feel very irritated, frustrated, stressed. I feel a lot of different emotions at once. And, so I bring him home and then I get him up out of the truck. He's swaying back and forth. And I already knew my number one goal was get him in an apartment, let him sit down. And then I had already told him by the time I get home, I'm going out. Like I need to go out just to have a little bit of time to myself. Hello, Mr. Stick. And I don't get a lot of respite at all. And at times I do, my guard is always up because my dad is always doing something. Sick or not, he's always doing something. And it's a spirit that's in him, it's a manipulative spirit. And he does things, like he'll fall and trip over things. And sometimes I felt he did that on purpose. I don't feel that there's a disease, going on. But anyway, I'm out. I get something to eat. I come back. There was a show that I was supposed to be a part of that I was watching, just something to clear my mind. I can give input, something I can channel my energy that's positive. Then my dad calls me. That's been a running theme all day, him calling me. Like he's in the hospital, he's calling me. Usually what that means when he's in the hospital is because he had to get dialyzed today before he was let out. And he did not, hello to all coming in, he did not want to be dialyzed. And he was acting less than cooperative on the phone. His nurse asked me to talk to him. I'm like, ma'am, I don't want to talk to him. Like, there's nothing I can do that's going to get him to change his mind about being dialyzed because he didn't want to be dialyzed. At this point, it doesn't matter what you want. Your life is at stake here, and the ball is in your court. You do your treatment, you take your meds as you're supposed to, and you don't. And I cannot keep track of all of that and work and take care of other things. Again, I'm part of 2 ministries. Thank you, Dallas, for subscribing. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Amber. Hello, Austin. Hello, LeBron. And hello, Mr. Stick. My day was okay, Mr. Stick. LeBron. My day was okay up until not that long ago when my dad's in his room and he called me to tell me he slipped and fell, knocked over an ironing board that was in his room. Right now I hear sirens. Not sure why I'm hearing them. Hope that's not the ambulance. I don't know what's going on. Because all I want was to have a quiet Friday night. And it's never really quiet. And so, my dad's like, oh, it slipped and fell. Found him in the laundry basket. I didn't see any blood or anything. So I picked him up with one hand. Now my wrist is slightly bothering me. And I had a decision to make. I either call the paramedics or just, I have to go if he's okay. Because if they come, even if they check him out, he's got to agree to go back. And I know he's not going to want to go back. And he's got to go to a less than ideal hospital that's literally a few minutes away. That's the one good thing. We have a hospital very close, but the other thing is it has a penchant for being not great. It's not an ideal place for patients to go because a lot of them die there. So it has a bad stigma on it, which makes sense. And I don't know if it's anxiety trying to flare up. Like, I truly am a believing person. I feel like I'm just under spiritual attack. And I prayed earlier, I pray over him, but it's just hard to be, in a small place like that, around the person like that, and you're the only person that's around every day. Almost like, imagine being the only person on earth and you have no emotional support or anything, and you're constantly being held on to tightly. But the same person holding on to you tightly is also causing great stress and doing things that makes absolutely no sense. And that's even harder for the person caring for the sick person, because you don't know if this is all a put upon act or if it's really pertaining to a disease. And this is something I've had to deal with for many, many years. Not just the past 5. It's been 3 since my mother's been gone. When she was, more than a friend, she was like a security blanket because she knew what to do and she was the biggest help I've ever had. Now she's gone and I have to figure it out. And I've done my best, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you are not helping at all. But I digress. I'm just sitting here looking. If my camera would turn around, looking at the sky. Hello, 2%. Again, this is our neighbors adjacent from us. And I'm just standing in the parking lot getting air. So, because that's what helps me breathe better. And, it helps me connect with nature, because Well, why not? It's Friday night. I don't want to be out in the street because there's too many nutty buddies out there in them streets, and I'm not trying to be out there. Like, you know, there's better things for me to do than to be out there with those bozos. So I just said, okay, let me go live again. Lately I've been on a streak. This is my third video this week. Um, and the thing about me is I'm gonna go live without warning. I just spontaneously go live because I go off of feeling how I feel, and that's why people are like, I didn't get a notifications because I didn't plan it. I just go off of how I feel and how I'm led. If I feel led to get something off my chest, I'm gonna do that. And I think this is a great outlet for me to do so. And it's very cathartic and therapeutic. I mean, I wish that, I had other people I can have come on and then I can have conversations that way, but I have to work on that. Uh, so I can have people come on, we have conversations about whatever. But for now, it doesn't have to deal with me, which, you know, from what I could tell, most of you like me because you subbed. Well, I would like to think so. And yeah, so I guess I asked, how's everybody's night going? Let me know in the comments. I mean, you can't tell me, but let me know in the comments. Um, so I know what's going on. And as I was saying, I have a friend that her show is live right now. Her handle, the name of her channel is Real Talk, Real Solutions. I would search that in the YouTube search bar, and you will find her. Her name is Latanya Evans. She has a great show. She's a great host, and like I said, she's live right now. And I posted the link on my Facebook. Many people are not. Some of you guys are friends with me on Facebook, and some of you, that are here on YouTube don't know about that. So, yeah, I just want to, just put that out there. What do you mean, Austin? What do I do? What do you mean as far as my channel goes, or just what do I do for work? I mean, make it a little more clear. Your comments a little unclear to me. No, that's good, Stacy. How's the snow over there? I mean, I hope it's not chilling you guys to the bone. Hey, Jane, good to see you. So, yeah, right now, one of my neighbors is being dropped off as I am doing this show. So, now what about you, Amber? Are you working tonight, or did you work already? Yeah, how was your day, Jane? Y'all tell me in the comments so I know. I'm just taking a break from talking because I don't know, I'm running out of stuff to say right now. Well, maybe one day we will do a live. Jane, snow melting, waiting for more. Well, why is it a headache day, Jane? What, the baby got to you, or was it the snake outside your door the other day? Was that what did it, Jane? Inquiring minds want to know, girl. Let us know. Inquiring minds want to know. Now, where is my Cheetos 2%? Don't make me find a switch, sis. I want them Cheetos, man. My twin, I want them Cheetos and I want them now. And don't tell me your mom ate them. Do not tell me that. I don't want no dictionary 2%. I feel better, Amber. Headaches suck. I get them from time to time. And sometimes I think, I know for sure I have Bluetooth headsets in my ears a lot. And the earwax buildup gets I mean, it's going to sound nasty for some, but, that's just biology. When the earwax buildup is so much, you can't, if not enough airflow gets in, it could cause you to have bad headaches too, and I have them sometimes. Oh, I'm not sure if I want to address that, but I guess thank you, Austin. I think he was on. Good for you, James. You don't need them type of people around your home. You really don't. You really, really don't. Weirdos, don't come to Jane's house, please. Please, please be legit. Please. That's all I'm asking. Yeah, that happened to me too, 2%. Like, especially when they sprayed that jet of water in my ears. Like, I felt extremely, like, just out of it. And shortly after that, because I think I might have had a slight ear infection, that was it last year? It was either last year or the year before when I had that bout with vertigo. If you've never had vertigo, trust me, people, you do not want to have that. That is one of the worst things that you could have. Honestly, it is terrible, and I hated it. Like, thank God it didn't last long, but yeah. Good, Jane. Let them know. And no pea shooter either. It's a real pow pow, ping ping. Now don't bother with my girl Jane now, weirdos. Well, you're gonna have to deal with me. I'm also security. 6'3", 250. Don't play with me, and pretty nimble on my feet. Do not play with me. What's up, Angela? Yeah, I had to leave out from Latanya. I wanted to stay, but there was a slight incident with my dad. He was in the apartment, I guess, doing whatever he was trying to do, clean his underwear, do whatever he was trying to do. He slipped and fell in the room, landed in the clothes basket, knocked over a ironing board that's in his room, all the stuff on there knocked over. And then I picked him up, and I just have been off. I've not felt well. And so, yeah, I mean, he's okay, but yeah, he was okay. It's just I had to leave out of there because it had been a long day. It'd been a long day, because he did get out this afternoon, but it's like earlier, one of before he could have been discharged, he was supposed to be dialyzed, and he didn't want to be dialyzed today. He wasn't being very cooperative, and he's telling the nurse he didn't want to be dialyzed. I'm like, because today is his day. He goes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And he has to do this. This isn't There's no debate. There's no compromise here. You have to do it because his doctor said he has an enlarged heart. Because of the congestive heart failure, his heart is not pumping like it should. No, he's got renal failure too, Jane. My dad's got a laundry list of issues. And the problem is he will not do what needs to be done. And at times I feel like he's giving up. And when I'm the only person there every day running, doing all this, it feels like a slap in my face. I knew what it was when I volunteered to take the job to help him. But, I've had to deal with mental manipulation pretty much my whole life with him in different areas. So my issues with him run very, very long and very deep. And it affects me from me moving on with my life because I have goals for this year. I will start not just one business, I'm going to start a few this year. I get to do that, I'm not sure, but it's going to happen. And I want to have a home this year. That's what I want. And somehow, some way, that's going to be worked out. And the number one thing I wanted was help. And it's still going to come. I'm just not sure what shape that will come, but it is going to come. And, I just can't sit there and deal with that kind of stress right then and there. I have to walk away because I'm very sensitive to it. And I have to walk away because I'm surrounded by that type of energy constantly, and it wears on me in many different ways. And then having to deal with life stuff, people dying. Like I said, last month my grandmother died. This month marked 8 years since my aunt passed from brain cancer. We lost a home this month back in 2017. That's been 8 years since we've not had a home. Next month will mark a year anniversary since me and a mutual friend, we lost a friend to suicide. Thankfully, there's nothing in June. July will be a year since I put one of my cats down, my beautiful Fiona. She lived 16 long years, but she was sick. And to this day, I don't know really what she was sick from, And let's see, August will be 4 years since my dad's father passed away. September would have been my mom's birthday, late September. And also that's would have been my grandfather's birthday month. October would have been my grandmother who just passed birthday. She would have been 94 if she hung around. What else? Oh, also, friend of the family had passed away that time last year. November, I'm not. Let's see. Well, it doesn't matter, but you get the idea. And I don't share this because I want pity or anything. That's not why I'm doing that. Just giving you a glimpse into what I'm dealing with and how I'm trying to continue on and move forward. I get up still. I made this analogy several times lately. Now, I'm sorry, Stacy. I feel like a boxer in the ring. that's just getting pummeled by his opponent. And the referee is not breaking it up, he's letting it happen. Like you had them dirty boxers that sneaking them hits, you know. Them hits, like, if you hit someone in the back of the head, that's an illegal hit. Or if you low blow somebody, you give them a head, but you're not allowed to do that. You're not supposed to be doing that. And that's why I feel like life is that opponent. Like it's constantly just beating me down. And I'm, trying to catch my breath and get up, and then something else happens. But, that's not uh, a struggle that's just known to me. We've all dealt with that in many different, ways. That's not what I'm trying to say. Uh, you know, but staying in the word, staying close to God, deepening your relationship, if you have one with him, that's what maintains me. That's what keeps me going. That's why I stay involved in the ministries I'm a part of. One being a pro-life ministry, the other one being church. I'm part of the parking team at church, so I stay busy as best as I can. But anyway, yeah, they are, Jane. Yeah, they are. Thank you for your earlier comment, Amber. I see everything. It just takes me a moment to respond to it as it's coming in. Yeah, I get it, Angela. Like, my granddad was on dialysis, and they told my mother before she passed, they was saying her kidneys was starting to fail and that she would have to be on dialysis. But we talking about daily. I'm like, oh no, because my dad's on 3 days a week. He's on 3 days a week. And there will be periods that it got so bad he only went once out of the week. Twice, I said, okay, we could get you to go twice just because of his stubborn nature. I take that over 3 times. But now it's like you can't afford to just because of fluid buildup. Because if he misses any more of these, that fluid is going to continue to build up. And that's what's causing him breathing difficulties. That's why he's struggling. And then he had to have his defibrillator checked, which is on the left side of his chest. And, well, again, going back to my mother didn't end up having to have dialysis. She was just constantly sick in and out of that hospital, and then constantly having to have transfusions and platelets put in. I just think her body couldn't take it anymore. I think she was ready to go home. And I had the peace. I knew it was coming. Like, I know when people are getting ready to die. I don't know how to describe it, but I think that's just another thing that's been given to me by God, that I know when it's coming. I can feel it because I knew it was coming with my mother. I knew it was coming with my grandmother. And I said my piece. I said what I felt that I should have said. And that was that. Like, initially, I was considering going to the funeral, and I decided not to. Because, again, I have nothing with paying respects, but I've done this before. And we all grieve differently. And I just don't need to be around that anymore. I'm already hypersensitive as it is. I don't need to be around that anymore. And besides, my grandmother's spirit is gone. All you're looking at is a shell of a body. So I didn't feel, partially, I didn't feel the need to go. And then just prior to that, my dad had upset me um, that morning because he, the night before, he was up with the light on, and I could see the light in the living room. I can't sleep well. I could not sleep very well. Sleep is highly important to me and for me to function properly, because I don't just have to function for me and him. I got to take care of Lily too. And that's a lot, constantly going, and I'm one person doing all of this. I'm not my mother. My mother was able to do that for as long as she could, but even then, that was too much for her. And I do love a lot. Like, I don't even begin to say all that my dad has done to me or put me through. Now, again, I had my moments where, I did some things in response to that. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But, you know, it left a huge impression on me. And, he just doesn't really get it. Like, dude, there's nobody else here. When you look to your left and your right, I am here. I have not gone anywhere. You threaten my life. I have not gone anywhere. You threatened my mother. Again, I stood up for her. I'm not going anywhere. He's had some good things he's done too, but it gets marred and overshadowed by the negativity. And unfortunately, that's what's sticking. So, anyway, I don't want to keep talking about that. So, I think that it does, Amber, but definitely look more into that, because I can't give medical advice and I'm not the expert on that, but just reading on that, I would just look up more information for sure. Well, who would you mean 2% when you said as you get older they really do not care to take care of you? What do you mean, children don't care, or just need clarification on that one? Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too, Amber. Like, everybody's going through something. And I didn't come on here to complain and all that. I was about to say a certain word. Uh, it rhymes with itch. I'm not gonna itch and moan on here, but um, like I said, I just felt like I need to speak and get this off of my chest, and I've been doing it more lately. And I wasn't here to get you guys crying. I really, uh, I really wasn't. You know, I have the heart to serve. I don't even know what to say half the time. I just tell God, hey, whatever somebody needs to hear, use me. Speak through me. I don't know what that person needs to hear, and I don't. And he does that every time. So, I try to give others what I felt that I've lacked for a long time, because I know what it is to lack things. And it hurts. Like, earlier, I wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry. But when I cry, it's just certain moments. And then it comes. I can't cry on demand, but it comes. It really does come. And, there's things I want to do. Like, I really all. I ain't want to sit down here and really watch a show. I just want to go wash up, lay on my bed and just lay there because, I feel, I don't want to say depressed, but I feel melancholy, like my spirit is just low sometimes. And all I want to do is just lay there. And then when I wake up, even if I get a full night's sleep, I still feel drained. And I felt like that lately, just drained. Like I know something's coming. I'm trying to stand firm and stand strong, knowing that something better is coming. And it is. It's just certain moments, all I can do is like when I feel things are getting too much, or I don't know, I don't want to say anxiety is running high. I don't really know the proper term to call it, to articulate it in that moment, but no, we absolutely are. We absolutely are. Yeah, we are, Stacy, and I felt it. Felt it so strongly, and I think when it's anxiety, it feels like it's like I feel like I'm struggling to breathe. Like I'm getting breath in my nostrils, but it's like I have to work at it. I'm breathing harder than normal. And, I've gone through many anxiety moments and panic attacks, and I kind of know how, in the beginning, they just kind of come on you. And then later you learn how to, get through those moments. But then lately, it feels like it's just coming and it's showing a different face. The outcome is the same, like, having to control the breathing, but it just feels slightly different. Oh, you already know, Jane, I'm gonna fight. Just like you gonna fight them snakes hanging outside your door. I do the same thing. But I'll find a way to get that punk from away from the door, just to give a moment of levity here. But yeah, like I feel better. The more I sit outside, the better I feel. Yeah, it's like the minute I go in that apartment, that's when I feel that oppressive spirit again. And it's a spirit that's been following us for years, for a very long time. Because I remember my mother told me, like, I think this, my dad's family was supposed to be believing folks, but at some point in their younger years, I don't know if it was my dad that went to a fortune teller, somebody went to a fortune teller. Now, those that are Christ followers know that's, we can agree or disagree on this thing, but God says we're not to interact with those things. And somehow, some way, my dad came out of there with some kind of candle. We brought it back to the first home that we had. This home is a home that my parents had, and we lost it. That's the first time I've experienced homelessness at 9 years old. That was back in 1995. Again, that same year, for any baseball fans in here, my Atlanta Braves won the World Series. So that's one particular positive memory that I remember. And anyway, because I think this might have been either before I was born or when I was a baby. I don't know when it was. But, my dad had put the candle on a nightstand or whatever. Nobody touched and nobody lighted. That thing exploded. Now tell me something don't sound off about that. Now those are eyes to see. Do you see it? And so, and in that same home, when I was younger, I know most moms used to do that with their kids. They'll sleep with their kids until they fall asleep. And then they'll get up and go back, retreat to their own room. My mother used to do that, and I felt so comfortable for doing it. I felt safe. And I had a lamp beside my bed, and I kept it on the lowest setting because I ain't like sleeping with the light completely off. And I look in the hallway and I see shadowy figures in the hallway. Now, even then, I was a very perceptive child and I knew what it was. I knew exactly what it was, even back then. And it was scared the crap out of me. And I remember one time I was laying in my bed because as a youngster I played a lot of video games too, especially Super Mario Brothers was one of my favorites. And I remember laying there in the bed and it looked like it was one of those big ghosts that was in the game, but it was sitting in my room. And I'm like, what the heck? Like I had a very vivid imagination, but I know what I saw. And that was just a few things from, those younger years. And, I doubt that I was the only one that did this, but my logic was, hey, to keep myself safe, I'm gonna sleep with the sheet over my head, sheet, blanket, whatever. Now, nothing's gonna stop you if somebody want to drag you out the bed or touch you. That's not gonna save you. But in my mind, I used to feel safe that way. And my door would be completely open. And I felt like that for years. I battled that for years. Sometimes I sleep better if I had the door completely closed. Because it's like, okay, nothing can come in here. Now, again, a spirit can phase through anything because it's not tangible. It can phase through whatever. But that's how my mind was thinking at the time. And so, you know, but I know part of my issues, like if I want to win a battle, the only way to win that battle is I have to stay in my word. No, I knew I wasn't the only one that thought that way, Angela. I figured that. I just wanted to see how many interactions I would get, people that would say that in the comments, but I figured that much. And so, well, yeah, from a kid well into my adulthood, I knew that things were what they were, you know. So, oh, sorry about that. I was um, responding back to a message. Yeah, it is 2%. It definitely is. Yeah, so that's my thing. I just have to stay in the word. I just have to stay in the word. That's all. Because the enemy is lost. He has no power. He can't do nothing without God's approval. Basically, he's just a spiritual dog on a leash. Dogs can't attack you on leashes unless the owner either lets go of the leash or he gives them a little bit more room on the leash to get at least a little bit closer to you. So we should keep that in mind. And when I say we, primarily, I'm kind of definitely speaking to myself as well. Oh, I said, aside from that, today wasn't bad. I worked a little bit. I got some sleep earlier. No, it's not something I was expecting. Like I said, I was hoping, he'd come home and just lay down. I wasn't expecting him to slip and fall. It's not anything, no fault of his own. It's just like, okay, when things like that happen, my guard goes completely up and I can't relax that guard for anything. It's not that simple for me to not let it bother me because now I'm listening intently. Without even trying to listen intently, I'm not able to get into deep REM sleep. And that's for a variety of factors, but you know, it just it wreaks havoc on me in different ways. But before I go to sleep, I'm either going to listen to a message or I'm going to let that Bible app play. I was going to seep that into my mind because I'm going to bed with that Bible app on too. Yeah, you have to 2% out of that. I would tell you get her a life alert, but I don't know how much that stuff costs these days, but it's definitely a cost because it's a pendant that you can put around their neck and you put batteries in it and they just press it. So if they fall, then that'll alert the authorities, but you have to have like a subscription or whatever. So, my parents had bought that for my grandparents when they was still alive, but they never used it. My dad felt like it was a waste of money at the time because they didn't use it. And mind you, like I said, my grandfather was a few years younger than my grandmother, but my granddad wasn't a slouch. Like he might have been 80 something, 80 something years old, but he was still out doing stuff, even after dialysis treatments. And dialysis treatments take a lot out of you. But he wasn't one that liked to sit on that couch, especially because my grandmother liked to complain uh, about him being in there. And if he was in there, it's because he wasn't feeling good. So he'd either tend to his garden or he'd be doing something. He just liked to stay busy. Because my grandfather had a job up until I think close to 80. Like he had a little job that he was working up until then. And so, that's just how he was. And I think that's what a shift in the family structure. It was like he was the glue that held them together. He might have been a catalyst why all of them have anger issues because there was abuse of some kind in that household. And it affected everyone. It started from my dad and it trickled down because everybody on his side has some kind of anger issue. Probably, definitely a generational curse for sure. And then whatever got into my dad, then he took his frustrations, whatever else was going on in his internal, out on me, and he couldn't communicate well. To this day, still can't. That's why my mother and I had a better relationship because we were constantly communicating. And I feel like I get my empathetic side from her. I get the compassion, all that from her side. And not too many people that met my mother had a mean word to say. Everybody loved my mother. Um, at times I believe most people love me too, but then, family, I feel, especially on my dad's side, I feel like they got a problem with me. Like they just a bunch of haters. Again, all families have that though. No family is perfect. No family is perfect. But these people, I've watched. I've always been a quiet, observant person. I am I am introverted, but I have some extroverted ways. I could be extroverted around certain people, but at my core, I am quiet and observant. And that's how I've always been. And that's why I know so much. I know people's secrets because word gets around. And if you're quiet, you get a lot of information. People tell on themselves. And yeah, so, and I'm just at that season of my life. Like, I'm not going to continue to let people push me over. And certain people, I feel like I know who to keep around and who to let go. And in time, there'll be more pruning. But for now, whoever's here, I'm praying that I am influencing you in a positive way, helping you to move more towards God. Because it's all about the kingdom and having a relationship with Him. That's what matters more than anything. Knowing that, spreading the gospel. I ain't gonna beat people over the head with the Bible and the scriptures. There's a way to talk to people. We all have our gifts of witnessing, however, we're supposed to do that. I know my weak areas and I know what I need to clean up. Definitely, I gotta clean my mouth up. That's one thing because I definitely express myself with language that most will find inappropriate and that God definitely finds inappropriate, and his opinion is what matters most, because that's what I need to ultimately be afraid of and be accountable to. Because when we die, God ain't gonna ask me, yo, what did 2% do? What did what does Stacy do? What did Amber do? He ain't gonna ask me about nobody else. He's gonna ask me what did Chris do? And I have to be in a state to be like, yo, I gotta get my stuff together. And I've been lacking. I'm gonna be honest, I've been lacking because I've been struggling with this uh, situation. Like, I do the best I can, I hang in there, but I'm also a human being and I get worn out like other people do. Now, there's some things I could do to help my stamina last a little bit longer. Like, I need to stop eating crappy foods. I have to eat healthier. I need to work out more, because I hate to say it, but it's the truth. I got a little belly and I don't like people touching my stomach talking about I'm soft in the middle. No, I don't find it funny because I don't point out other people's flaws. I just don't. Not unnecessarily. Now, if you're going to pick at me, then I'm going to pick right back at you. But, there's really no reason to be doing that, to put another brother down when, you pointing at a speck in my eye, you got a plank in yours. Like, that's called being a hypocrite up in here. Nobody should want to be no hypocrite. So, anyway, Man, I didn't realize I've been going on almost 55 minutes. But I do thank you guys for, you know, tuning in with me. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Like, oh no, no, don't leave yet. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere just yet. I'm just telling you, I'm looking at the counter. That's all. Yeah, that's all I could do, Stacy. That's all any of us can do. And I try not to live a week ahead. Like, okay, make plans because plans change at uh, a drop of a dime. Like, God laughs at our plans. Like, oh, okay. Oh, you think you want to do this? Nah, we doing this over here. And I was like, well, I didn't think I was going to be doing this, but hey, God makes the calls. He can do that. We can't do nothing but just do what he tells us to do. And remember that his ways are higher than our ways, his thoughts are higher than ours, and he knows what's best for us, and he's only going to do what's best for us. At the end of the day, we have to be the ones that choose him. He gives us the option. He gave us free will to choose him. That's up to us to extend our hand. He's going to be there. Clearly, he wanted us because he died for us specifically. He didn't die for nobody else. And so, because we were talking about that in Bible study last night, Christ was sent to die for us, his creation. He wasn't sent to die for the angels. He wasn't sent to die for the fallen angels or Satan, just us. Because we are created in his image and likeness. And Satan can't stand that. He hates it to his core. He does. Hey, Janet, thank you for tuning in. And nah, you don't have to get out them bushes now, Janet. We ain't playing them type of game. It's like, what are you, the Easter bunny now? You hiding in the bushes? Man, I hope you got some good candy eggs in there or something. Well, maybe you got some money hidden up in there. Share it with us. So, oh man. Well, I like the little turnout that is here tonight. I'm actually having fun. Like, I feel that cloud that was over me is kind of lifted. I feel lighter again. I find myself doing this a lot, being out. Like, if I had my way, I'd be at the beach right now. I have enough gas to go. I just don't want to go too long unless I knew he was sleeping. What I miss and what I should do is go around 4. That's what I should do. Because that's when it's the most quietest and there's very few people out there. Because I look at the waves, like you can see enough. Oh no, I know, Janet. I'm just being facetious. I'm just, I like to crack jokes and bring levity to what started out as a heavy, raw conversation. Oh, well, there I go with the puns again, because this is honest conversations with yours truly, and that's what I'm here to have, a honest and real and open conversation. And down the line, I'm going to have this set up where I can bring people on so that we really have conversations. Yeah, it truly is, Angela, and it's even better when you have someone there with you. I mean, it's cool to go by yourself because it's needed, but it also helps if you have like a trusted friend or whatever to go with you. Because that's cool too, just to be able to talk me like, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. Oh, there you go, 2% with that dictionary. And I'm not even throwing out hard words. Maybe I need to amp up the vernacular here for you. You crack me up, sis. You really do. But hey, you provide something to the to the stream. So thank you for that. Oh man, the only one missing is Marlon popping in talking about some. Now this is very egregious. See, there's your favorite word. I had to bring that out just for you. 2% egregious, just for you. And my favorite word is superfluous. So, there we go. He killed me 2%. Not literally, but you crack me up. Oh man. That's why earlier I was looking for skating rings. Yeah, well, I speak in layman's terms too, 2%. Just right now, I'm in that mode that I feel like using certain words. Now, I'm not trying to, speak above anybody's head, though. I don't believe I do those types of things. No, it is, Angela. And a lot of times, most of my friends, I just speak to on the phone. Not many of them are here in a state that I can go see. Like I have brothers that I talk to and laugh with, but that's usually one day out of the week. That's at Bible study, and most of my friends, I'm like one of the few single people there, so it's a little bit different for me. But I definitely try to, um, keep people laughing. I definitely try to keep people laughing because I know laughter is healing medicine. What's also healing is if you got a cat hearing them purr because of the vibrations they give off, on their body. That's healing too because it's at a certain vibrating frequency. So that also helps. There's always uh, different methods that you could use to kind of relax yourself. And so, well, I mean, I'm grateful that I can make people laugh, but sometimes I'm not trying to be funny. I just put something out there and somebody took it that way and they was cracking up. And, sometimes I think to myself, didn't intend for that to be funny, but if you got something out of it, great. That's cool, you know. Well, what didn't you know, Angela? Yeah, because I've had cats more than I've had dogs. I love them both. I've only had one dog in my life so far. I mean, maybe when Lily's gone and I'm in a better situation financially, maybe that'll be the next thing I get is a dog. No, I wish somebody was here that needed a cat sitter. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I love doing stuff like that because I'm a trustworthy person. That or yeah, it's true, Angela. It's true because I've read a lot of I've read books and different articles, and no, it really does help. And so, like I said, I've had cats throughout my life. Man, it's not really been too long of a period where I haven't had a animal in my life at some point. So it would feel weird if I didn't have one around. It really would feel weird if I didn't have one around because I've always had one around. Yeah, they are. Well, who needs a fish 2%? I need some catfish to eat or some salmon, but why you think I need a fish, sis? Yeah, like yeah, Stacey's a couple on Facebook that I followed, Eva and Javier. I'm sure you probably seen it in the algorithm. They're a very interesting couple to say the least. But I notice a lot of times that I find myself watching. I have to pass on that fish 2%. I don't want no fish. I'm okay. I mean, I find that cats are independent. They'll take care of themselves for the most part. Now, if it's an indoor cat, if they're an outdoor cat, you really don't have to pay for anything other than maybe shots, But no, you definitely cannot, Janet. You cannot. Um, if they're outdoors cat, then mostly you just gonna, maybe pay for their shots if it's not feral, and they'll find food outside. You don't need to buy a litter box of litter because they go outside. Now, if they're indoor cat, then yeah, you're gonna have to buy litter. You're gonna have to buy a box. You're gonna have to buy bowls for it to eat out of. And then there's different types of food. Some that's affordable and some that's a bit on the pricey side. Foods like Science Diet or Blue Buffalo, those are a little pricey. They are, but they're supposed to be more nutritious for the animal. So, uh, but right now, I just buy my cat either Friskies or Purina. It's like, hey, I had to tell it, like, time's getting tight, man. Like, I can't buy you the food that you used to anymore. You just have to eat what's put in front of you. And I'm blessed because I have a friend that, comes in and buys my cat some food, and I bought her cat some food too. So it helps. And it comes at the right time because Lily only had one can left. Literally only had one can left. So, uh, and I'm sure she was happy. So, uh, but she could be a little selective and picky sometimes. I'm like, girl, you better eat that food because if it goes bad, that's just gonna be one less can of food you got to eat. You don't need to be uppity up in here. You know, do not be freaking uppity with me. So, don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I had to share my link, so I went away. Okay, one less food to One less food to fry. What you mean 2%? Well, you got a very interesting dog, Janet. If it won't eat dog food, I mean, what does your dog think? It's a cat? Sounds like it to me. So, oh, I love me some eggs now, 2%. Welcome in, Coco. Welcome in, girl. Yeah, I don't know what it is when I go live. I set the video to public, but then after I end it, it will process, and then for some reason, it was 2%. This time I'll agree it was before my time. This time I'll agree, sis. Um, Like I said, every time I end the stream out, for some reason, it saves a video and it's on private for some reason. And I got to figure out why that's doing that. Because if it's on private, when you look for it, you're not going to find it. And I always go at the end and I edit it and I put it on public so everybody can see it and click on it because you may not get the notification. So that might be why you were having issues getting in. Coco was because of that. And I hate that, but I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. So I don't know. I don't know why those green Hulk faces crack me up so much. I don't know why. Odd. Very odd. Yeah, so 2%. What is mom doing? Is she up? Is she sleeping? What? Oh, okay, Janet. Like, what is she doing? I doubt she's eating cookies. Watching TV. I hope she ain't watching what she shouldn't be, what you told me she used to be watching. I hope she ain't watching that. Like, you gonna have to do this tomorrow. She was trying to sink it. Of course she was. That's how I was when I call you sometimes. You be like, who are you talking to? Yeah, I remember. Oh, jeez, so she's still trying to watch things she shouldn't be watching. That's hilarious. And my dad can't watch nothing because the TV in the room stopped working, so we have no TVs to watch. Like if he wants to watch something, he has to watch off the phone, or else he's not gonna be able to watch a thing. Yeah, you better hope she don't find that switch 2%. I don't want to hear you screaming now, sis. You know them knees not gonna let you run too far. You know, my right leg. I want to say, I don't know if it was my sciatic nerve, but when I was in the parking lot this past Sunday, like it rained bad, and I got soaked. I was the only one on the crew that got soaked, and it was lightning as I'm standing out there, and I'm like doing like this, like making myself smaller. Like, please, Lord, don't hit me, because that ain't gonna feel good, and I don't want to die. So, yeah, I went through all that. My shoes got soaked. And then as soon as I was done with that, I went and I worked and I did some deliveries and was still getting soaked. Yeah, that day wasn't fun at all. But I do like, dancing in the rain. That's fun to me. I love it. I just don't like when it's like that soaking, pouring down, hard pouring down rain that's cold. You'd be like freezing afterward, like, ooh, ooh. And that's how I was feeling. I had to walk into a cold store, because my clothes was soaked. And at one point, like, I took my shirts off because I had on, my tank top, and um, I had my work shirt on. And then I took that off and I just put my jacket on. My jacket got soaked. And I had to ride around the truck and got the seat kind of a little bit wet, because I got cloth seats, and I still need to buy new seat covers, but I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to keep spending too much more money into this truck, and it's a different conversation altogether. But um, that is very peaceful. 2%, very peaceful. Like I said, a dream of mine is just like having somebody cool I could walk in the rain with, talk, you dance in the rain, let your inner kid out. because I never stopped being a kid at heart. Well, I'm getting older and I'm feeling it day by day. It's just like, oh yeah, now I'm, slowly getting to that other side. But them aches and pains don't go away as quickly as they used to. Like, okay. But, I'm still to some, I'm still, a youngin'. So all right, I'm blessed with that. I'm even a youngin' when I get carded sometimes, which I rarely get carded, but that's mostly if I'm picking up orders for other people. So now you better not, Coco. I'm tell you, you better not grow up. I won't allow you to grow up. I I will not allow it. Okay? I am not gonna allow that. No, you too, 2%. I mean, you about one of the youngest ones on here besides me. Because Amy ain't here. I wish she would have seen it though, but Amy did finally see one of my videos. She made a comment, so I like that. You know that was awesome. I just wish they had some roller coasters here because I would be getting on one. And you gonna come too, 2%. You could say no, but you coming. You are definitely coming. I know you in some of these roller coasters. I be reading them posts. I see what I see. I see what I see. Nah, I ain't say it had to have loops, but you definitely get on. I don't care. You can't run from me. You gonna have to get on. Oh man. Because I remember it was one I never forget. The one and only time I've been to Busch Gardens. My parents took me back in, I think it was 94. And there was a ride that um there was a ride that resembled a boat, right? Now one side they had a fence, like a little fence covering the part on one side. The other side there was no fence. And so this thing would rock kind of like a pendulum going back and forth, back and forth. And then eventually what happens is it'll go up and then it'll just kind of stay here for a few minutes. And people are losing their chains, money out of their pocket, their car keys, you name it, they was losing it. And I was thinking to myself, I hope to God this thing doesn't open and release, so we all done. Nah, at 2%, I was scared on that thing. It's like the only ride I've ever been on that I actually cried because I felt so uncomfortable on that thing that my parents both laughed at me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Like, y'all really laughing at me for real? I felt traumatized on that ride. I'm not even going to lie. It's the first time I actually said this in a public forum. But again, I was young. I was like 8. So I was just like, yo, like never again. I never got on that crappy ride again. Now, if I had to, now I'd probably be able to do it if it was still around, but it's not something that I would look forward to. Nah, probably best not to, Coco, honestly. But, I always love the ones with the loops and all that. But even now, you know, I don't know if I need to do all of them, but certain rides I want to do. I'm sure you guys probably could still do Space Mountain because Space Mountain wasn't crazy. Uh, wow, Stacey, I'm surprised we even do bumper cars because if you got somebody that's driving erratic and acting a fool on that thing, and they hit you from behind, you gonna be hurt. I mean, Space Mountain's all right. It ain't nothing spectacular, but a lot of people that have been to Disney said I've been on that ride. I can't tell you how many times I've lost count, but I've been on it definitely more than once. But truthfully, you're not really missing a whole lot with that ride. Like, if you're concerned about bumps and all that and loops, nah, that ride doesn't have that. Now, there is a little bit of water involved, but you're not going to get soaked. I'll tell you that. So, because Disney World ain't all that. I've been there a few times. It ain't all that. And that's the one in Orlando. I don't know about the one in California. I've never been there. So I wouldn't know. Shoot, I haven't even been to Universal. Most people have, but I've never been. So, never been to Six Flags either. No, I mean there's a distinct difference. I don't remember what that difference was. I think one is Disney World and one is Disneyland. If I recall right, I think the one in California is Disneyland and it's different. Supposed to be different somehow. What? I don't know. I've never been there, so definitely not worth going to now either. When? Well, on what though, Coco? What do you mean? Aquatica? I never heard of that, Janet, but it sounds like fun. I mean, there's a place in West Palm Beach called Rapids Water Park. I've not been there either, and I love water parks. Yeah, it would, Coco. It definitely would. And so I'm hoping I'll be able to go soon. That's one place I want to go to. Oh, I know, Janet. I definitely want to go to Rapids for sure. I've been wanting to go for several years, and I just never went. I don't really need to go to the beach unless it's with someone just to sit down and enjoy God's creation, just talk. Or one place I love to go back to is a roller rink. Haven't been in years. Zoos are good. A zoo or a farm. Like what I did last week when I went to that farm and I rode on that horse that's in my profile pic. Like I said, that was fun. Oh no, I don't think roller skating ever really went away though. 2%. It's just I don't know. Like I haven't been. The last time I put on a pair of skates was '04. It's been a long time. Been a long time now. I'll put the rollerblades on or I'll put on the quads. It doesn't matter. Because I can do both. You know, the one thing I never was able to do was skate backwards, though. I wasn't coordinated like that to do those type of things. That's something I always wanted to do, but I'm just not coordinated to do that. Or maybe go bowling, and I haven't been bowling again since '04. It's been a while. So, well, what happened, Stacy? Did you fall? Yeah, bowling's fun. Bowling and skating. I used to fall down a lot, hurt my elbows a lot, hurt my wrist, but getting back up, it's like, nah, get your butt up and keep going. Then you kind of build calluses to it. I mean, it still hurts. Anytime you fall, it's never going to feel good, especially when you get older. But, it's like, okay, get up. It's just showing that resiliency, like, yo, let me get up. So that's all. Oh, you was done? That's terrible, Janet. That's terrible. Man, I hate when people fall. I really hate when people fall. It's not fun at all. Oh, I've never been ice skating. No, that's something I've always wanted to do too. Ice skating, if you think roller skating is bad, ice skating, you skating without a brake. Like you gotta sit up there, turn your legs sideways or crooked to stop. What's up, Lisa? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been on an hour, 26 minutes and change. Who would have thought? I mean, by a show of hands, honestly, who's having fun here? Now, it's a serious question. Just show me in the chat who's having fun here. Oh, okay, good, good. Oh, like I said, I aim to please, honestly. Yeah, at least y'all not throwing tomatoes at me or, you know, looking for that, that long cane stick when you yank somebody off to say, like, get off the stage, end the live. I'm not ending anything. This is my channel. I go on and I meander on and whatever, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm blessed y'all hung around this long, honestly. Because it's Friday. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to hang out with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all from Kermit the Frog. Thank you. I hope they don't try to give me a strike for that. Knowing these silly people that they'll think that I really had freaking Kermit on, and he's not on. That's me. Oh man, wow. Only thing I'm missing is like the hand puppets. I would have had the hand puppets do like a whole monologue. Like, you got Kermit on one side, then you got, oh yeah, you got the Macho Man on the other side. Oh yeah, snap it to a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not tired though. As I said, I've been up. I have a lot of energy. I'm not even tired. Really, I'm bored, but I'm not tired. Now, so I wish I had those few more hours. I would have done something else, but I was out earlier, and these stupid bikers were out again. There was one officer out there, but he didn't do anything because they weren't popping wheelies and being disruptive, so they decided not to bother them. But in some places, you just see like a whole boatload of those guys, and I can't stand seeing them dudes. I just cannot stand it because it's chaos, and the devil is in chaos. And those type of people, they just, they ride around recklessly trying to scare you. And it's like, please don't get out of line. Leave me alone. You know. Yeah, you're an hour behind. Coco, you're an hour behind. Lisa, too. Oh, we know 2%. We know. You gotta get that rest and then spend time with the Lord. I understand. Like I said, I don't be on, I'm not on shows as much as I used to be. I'm really not. And that's more so for my own personal reasons. And so, we have seasons in our lives, like, and you have to ask yourself, like, is this taken away from my time with God? Like, that is the main thing because we're here for a reason, we're here for a purpose. And so, well, yeah, it's good though, but reading that word will put you to sleep too. I find times I couldn't sleep and I sat there and I read that and I'd be out quick. Or I'm listening to it on my phone, I'd be out quick. And I wake up and I feel rested. Sometimes I wake up feeling super rested. Oh, that's what I do. I just play it on my phone. I play the YouVersion Bible app. I have it up to a certain volume and I fall asleep. Now I know that, it's seeping into my spirit, which is good. I'd rather feed my spirit, man, while I'm asleep. So, you know, yeah, she has those moments, 2%, but, you know, and Coco too, but I understand, I have that understanding. So, I get why. Like, you have to have patience and understanding with certain people, when people are sleeping and resting all day. Because it's not something they want to do. It's just, that's where they find themselves at this place and time. But, yeah, when they're awake, huge blessing. Definitely a blessing and an enrichment. So, I'm thankful for you ladies. Like, a lot of you, you make your impacts and you influence me in ways that only you know how to do. Nah, you ain't targeted. Nah, you trying to get targeted, Coco? I ain't targeting you. Don't make me take aim. Pew, 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 pew. Because I'm not doing that. Oh, man, I feel like my eyes are trying to get heavy, too. But not yet. And I woke up early. Like, I didn't sleep the best last night. And lately, I don't feel like I've been able to really because of, the different things going on. So, yeah, probably because you took a nap. That's why, Coco. That's why. I know what you was doing. Watching them docs and all that. Yeah, I know what you was doing, resting. I don't know. I might be up for another 2 hours, maybe. Oh no, it just depends. Depends. My body might tell me, "Yo, we shutting it down now," and then I gotta be like, "Okay, okay, okay, master. Okay, we just gonna shut my bodies down. Okay, I'm just gonna listen to you, and I'm just gonna shut myself down. Okay, sir." So I hope you save me some waffles now, Coco. Come on now. Four fell back asleep. Oh boy, Stacy. Well, them bananas waiting on you. And see, that's where Dolores is missing. That's where your chef is missing 2%. I bet they were. What kind of waffles you got, Coco? Because my favorites were, what was it they had? Strawberry. I used to love the strawberry waffles, and they got rid of them. Those were my favorite ones. The chocolate chips, all right, but I try not to add any more syrup to it because it makes it too sweet. Now, I did have a French toast from IHOP, the fluffy French toast, and man, that was good. But I wish they had put strawberries on it because I want some strawberries. But I want to make me some pancakes. I just had to get me some strawberries and maybe get that strawberry syrup to put on top. And I think I have some powdered sugar. I think. But anyway, I mean, that sounds like a good snack. I'm not having that tonight. It's too late for me to be making that now. But my mouth does water thinking about it. It does. Well, yeah, for sure. You have to have it if you're just having regular waffles. I mean, the pecan waffles are all right, but those are more my dad's thing. And I don't think they had blueberry because if they did, I haven't tried them. But the strawberry waffles at Waffle House were my favorite till they took them off the menu. Kind of ticked me off about that. No, I know, right, Stacy? Well, hey, it's a healthy snack. It's a healthy snack. Do I cook? Yeah, I cook different things. Like as far as specialties go, one of them is one that most anybody can make is burgers. I prefer cheeseburgers, but I eat them even without cheese. So that's one. That's a basic one. Another one you probably wouldn't think that I used to make a lot was lasagna because I love lasagna. And I brown the meat and I use the two different types of cheeses. We would just have sharp cheddar and mozzarella, you know. And I used to make that quite often. That and then another thing would have been cube steak. Certain things I used to make all the time. I haven't made it in a while, but I still can. I've made baby back ribs before. I mean, I cook a little bit. I ain't, I'm not bro kitchen. I ain't no culinary chef, but I know my way around the kitchen a little bit, little bit. So, I've made some good pot roast before. I made lentil soup before, but I made that, because my mother was sick. I want my baby back ribs, barbecue sauce, boom, 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 boom. I want my baby back ribs. Well, yeah, thanks for that throwback, Coco Bean from Chili's. Chili's baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. And I used to love the Awesome Blossoms too. Yeah, his food does look good. Oh, I've made wings too. I'm all right at, making wings. As far as baking, the only thing I've really made, I mean, I've made a German chocolate cake once. And I made brownies because I like making brownies. So just hopefully I have eggs because if I don't have eggs, I tried that once and it just didn't come out right. it just did not come out right. So, and I think I've made a banana nut bread before too. It's just been a while. I haven't baked any cookies. That's probably something I should do. What else? I've not made any pies. Yeah, so yeah, that's it for now. Oh God, Angelo, I eat out so much. It's honestly, it's I shouldn't be because of all the information that's out there and what I know about it. But I say it's more so out of convenience rather than I would prefer to have a home cooked meal, honestly. Yeah, for sure, Angela. That's what I do. Yeah, I love sweets too. That's how I'm missing a tooth because of the sweet. So, um, oh, I haven't picked berries in years because I remember going out there doing that too. I did a lot of different things, but some of those things I've forgotten, honestly. But anyway, going back to your question, Angela. Oh, it's a hard one to answer because I go to so many different places to eat. Uh, I like Japanese food. I like Chinese food. Uh, I eat burgers a lot. I like my chicken. I've been going to Snappers more so now. I went there, what was it, last week because I had some catfish nuggets. And I was in a mood for some fish, so I got some with some fries. And it was pretty good, you know. Uh, but pizza, no, lately I've offered, to take a break from Domino's, which I know many people like Domino's. I'm not high maintenance when it comes to the pizza. Like, I like what I like. Domino's is more on the affordable side for me at times. So if I'm not having that, occasionally I'll have pizza and I'll switch it up. And I had the stuffed crust pizza that they had. It was pretty good. Actually, it was pretty good. Have a good night. 2%. Uh, it was pretty good, and they gave me like three different dipping sauces. So that was cool. Uh, Personally, I would prefer a real like a. If we're talking about pizza, I like to have something more, Italian. More so that way. And I love garlic rolls. I just it's something about it. Oh, he always does 2%. Gonna do the same for you and moms as well. So, um, but yeah, favorite restaurants, that's hard because like I said, I eat so many different places. I mean, really, a favorite restaurant I should say should be home, truthfully. That's really what I should say. And eventually, that's what I'm going to get back to. Oh, now I just remember another thing that I like to fix a lot of is salmon. Salmon and a good plate of rice, or I like making mashed potatoes too, or like when you slice up, to dice the onions or cut them like in a triangular shape. That's what I like, stuff like that. Uh, so, wow. Almost an hour and 45 minutes, almost. So, but I know it's getting late for some, and I don't want to keep anybody up because I don't know what anybody's plans are for tomorrow. Ooh, salmon loaf? I've not had salmon loaf. Sounds like something I probably should try. Oh, I did have some alcapurrias last night. One of my brothers got some from this Puerto Rican restaurant, or as we call Boricua Restaurante. Um, but he said he overpaid. So, but they were really good. Like, that was the only thing I ate. Like, he brought those, and somebody brought a pizza. I'm like, I ain't in the mood for no pizza. So I didn't eat it. And, yeah, them things just stayed in my mind. Like, oh, good Lord, this is so good. Because that's one thing I miss about Puerto Rico. I miss the food. You know, like I said, that's my second home. I miss it. Again, for most, I'm not from there. I just lived there. I was staying with my grandmother because I've been to the island I've been to the island 6 times. Most times when I visited, only one time I lived there for 2.5 years. So that was an interesting experience. Unfortunately, I don't speak more Spanish than I do, but I understand. I just don't. I'm not fluent. Still something I'm working on. But there's many other languages I know as well that, again, I'm not fluent on. Because I know Portuguese as well. Again, I don't speak it, but I can read it and I can understand certain things that it's saying. It was just something that I did. I was bored a lot and I was just expanding my mind. And yeah, so, that's something else I gotta keep. Yes, muy bien, Lisa. You get a prize. Very good, sis. You get a prize. Now I gotta head upstairs and uh plug this bad boy in because I'm at 5%. So uh I'm gonna say this. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. It's been a lot of fun. I think what I'm going to do is, before I go, I will pray us out, and then I gotta charge this bad boy up because I'm going to go into the apartment. Hopefully, my dad will be laying down sleeping, and hopefully he didn't fall. I pray that's not the case, but um, Lord, just thank you for the time that you allowed us all to be together. You turned something that was very negative for me in a moment, and you allowed me to use that for uh, positive. And I just thank you for that, and I pray that this helped many, because I'm here to serve, and ultimately what it's about is drawing people closer to your kingdom. It's not about me. I'm just a vessel to be used that allows himself to be used to carry out your will. And I pray that that was done this evening. Now I pray for those that may be dealing with health issues, issues sleeping, family drama, or whatever the case may be, financial issues, whatever the case may be. I pray that you meet them where they are and you give them strength and comfort as they need it in these trying times. And I ask that um, everybody has a good night's sleep. And if they have to get up and travel tomorrow, that you grant them traveling mercies and keep them protected and keep them safe. And I ask this humbly in your name, Jesus. Amen. All right, guys, I'm going to end this out because I don't know how much longer my phone's going to stay on before I put on the charger. And again, thank you for hanging out with me for as long as you did. Again, I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I guess I'm going to try to do this again. Again, I can't tell you when. Just know that when you see me on, then that's when I'm going on. So, have a good night, guys. Love you all. And I am out. Good night.